Welcome to the original rock and wrestling radio show. Welcome to Beyond Ringside, your source for wrestling, MMA, and boxing in the Southeast. To contact the Ringside Roundtable of Beyond Ringside, email them at beyondringside@gmail.com. And now, your host for Beyond Ringside, the man, no myth, all legend, Fast Eddie Lane.
You got it, set and ready to ride. 25 before the top of the hour on this 14th day of September. Welcome to Beyond Ringside Live. Live from Studio One, Mike Macaroni. Always a pleasure. Thank you for the intro. By the way, we got to sit down with some new voice liners very soon. Trust me on that one. Somebody we know pokes at me every once in a while about updating the PSAs, which that's my next project. Liners 1, PSAs 2. Sound bites, those are on the way. Coming at multiple location station, tag team partners coming on board, welcoming Mark Mabo Bowman.
Could you stop talking so loud and so fast? I have a headache.
Okay, you can have one or the other. Either I can kill the volume a little bit or kill the speed a little bit. Better yet, no, it ain't going to happen.
Well, then I'm going to kill my phone line a little bit and go back to sleep.
No, thou shalt not do that either.
Well, then you need to calm your ass down.
It's Seg 1. You know I'll chill by Seg 2. Like to welcome in tag team partner, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis. What's up, Wick?
We're going to try something a little bit different. I'm actually on my tablet, my headset, due to quote-unquote suspicious activities from Skype and from my Hotmail account. So, kiss my ass and whatever else.
Now, let me go ahead and say this, and this is partially, this is a partial me dropping a ball, and I apologize for that. I spoke with Gavin Loudspeaker, Loud and Noxious. A lot of people knew, of course, from Chikara and Wrestling Is. And we had originally spoken earlier this week about him coming on board, and I have not had a chance to get with him today to see if he's cleared to come on. I know we had some things happen last week, so I did get it back in touch, and we did reschedule for today in about 25 minutes, but I haven't gotten back with him yet. I'm still dealing with freaking browser issues over here. Frickin. I didn't do it in the first 6 minutes. That's somebody else. But things we are going to hit, and I'm going to try to send him a message, and maybe if you're near your computer, if you do the same, one of us hopefully will be able to get with him. From that vantage point, something we've discussed over the last 24, and it's something that we've all had some fun with, and that is the factor of over on the WWE Network. If anybody says that number, I will shoot to kill. But I'm referring...
316, 9900.
There you go. That's the number we can always use. NXT TakeOver 2. I'm sitting back saying, and Wick said it beautifully while we were off air. And Wick, I'll let you lead with your comment that you gave us. If they keep this up.
Well, I'm just going to say this right off him. I was very, 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 very impressed with NXT. Those guys and girls, because you put something out on Facebook that Angie actually said about the women's division in NXT. It far surpasses the women's division on WWE. And we all know that's considered the quote-unquote minor league, NXT. But holy crap, they go out and they hit spots that mean something. It's not Ring of Honor where you have 15 brainbusters followed by a small package. They're teaching psychology to these guys, but they're still letting them go out. The Ascension. My only problem with the Ascension is they should be dominant. They're too big. Whenever they caught Sin Cara during the tag match,
right?
They had a point. Now here I have a little bit of problem with some of the things going on. You could tell who was calling the matches, and you could tell that there were hands put into the matches. The Ascension match against what's the guy's name that's tagging with Sin Cara in NXT?
Kalisto.
Thank you.
Kalisto. That guy is so much better than Sin Cara. And the Ascension catches him to the outside, and they just take him and just throw him behind him. No, man, if you're 6'4" and 6'8", you got to take that little mother and throw him. Don't just toss him over your head. That was the only problem I had with that. But the finish of that match was awesome. And Charlotte Flair, holy crap. That girl that she wrestled, what's her name, Bayley?
Oh, I love Bayley. It's Bayley!
Charlotte Flair, she looks just like David Flair. Just like David Flair. Her finishing move and the names they come up with this. You would have thought that I had named these people and named their moves. Natural Selection, fantastic. Fantastic name. They are giving those guys the rope. And then to rename Kenta, I had a problem with that, but I understand Kenta, is a household name, and William Regal brought him in. But you have Kenta run off both members of the Ascension, and then they lose the tag team titles that night. There were a few nitpicky things, of course, that's how it is, but I watched it. It was awesome. The wrestlers were awesome. The girls took it seriously, and Generico, what does he go by now?
Sami Zayn.
Oh, Sami Zayn.
Him and Adrian Neville. Holy crap. Those two guys are awesome.
Now,
bright futures for both of them. I don't care how short and tall they are. Triple H has allowed these guys to go out. And everybody knows it's not John Laurinaitis. This is what Jim Ross wanted to happen.
Yep.
In NXT. This is what they tried to do with OVW. Lesnar came out of OVW. Orton. Rob Conway with his stank-ass breath. Several people, the Bashams at one time could have had a chance to be something. Had they not, had one of them shave their head and act stupid. But those guys in NXT are busting their asses. It was a great show. It was a phenomenal event, and I'm glad that they were able to go out and shine. And I'm glad that WWE let them come out Monday night and actually do it. So.
Yeah, that's something I'm going to cover in just a minute about the Monday night thing. Mabo, come on board. Your thoughts take over, too.
Oh, you know me, dude. Hold on. I got to sneeze. And it's going to take a while to sneeze because that's how my sneezes are. They know I have something to say, and then they're going to be a jerk. And it's going to wait till right I'm in the middle of the point of something, and then I'm going to sneeze. So, seriously, behind Chikara, NXT is my favorite company out there. I look at it as a separate entity, even though it is WWE. I still look at it as a separate entity because they do things different than what you see on Monday night, Friday night. But I always look forward to every Thursday night when NXT comes on, even if it is taped. And even when I do look at the results, I'll still watch it, unlike other programs, because I like what's going on down there. There's just tons of stuff and tons of people, and I don't know. It's in the crowd. It's not your typical WWE crowd, but it's also not like your typical independent wrestling crowd either. It's almost like a hybrid of both. It's like, I don't know. It's hard to say, but yeah, I just love watching NXT. And I agree with Wicked as far as the Ascension. They're supposed to me. They were supposed to be the WWE was, they were trying to push them as almost like the next Road Warriors, with just blowing through everybody. But it seems like they've started tweaking them and changing them just a little bit. I guess maybe for TV, but. I don't know, but I've always liked the Ascension. Bailey, I love Bailey. I don't care what people say. To me, she is awesome, and she everything down there is cool. I just love what goes on in NXT. The NXT debut of Baron Corbin. I think that's going to be the next person they try to get behind and. Try to clean up and get ready for the main stage. But yeah, I love NXT.
Who was the big Samoan looking guy that wrestled the former football player?
Big Samoan? Oh, the big
Samoan
guy?
looking guy. Yeah.
Bull Dempsey?
Oh yes. Whoever is his agent. This is Enoch Kassarian talking to his agent, maybe Dean Malenko, whoever. Stop letting that fat mother jump off the top rope. He is too big for that to be his finishing move. That diving headbutt is jacked up. That man had some good moves, and to win with that was terrible. That was terrible. And then to get speared by the former football player, and the former football player like crap. I don't even know who he is, and I don't care. His tackle was terrible. But I did like the fact that I saw a lot of one counts. I like that.
Yeah, that was the former football player was Mojo Rawley, who they were kind of high on. His whole thing is I don't get hype, I stay hype. I've never really cared for the dude, and honestly, you can tell when they started this whole thing between Mojo and Bull that the crowd was just. I guess they're getting sick of Mojo Rawley. They're kind of like how Rocky Maivia was shoved down everybody's throats.
You're right.
And they started turning on him. They're slowly starting to turn on Mojo. So, and I'm not saying I had anything. And this is not me. You guys know I don't toot my own horn or anything, but I'm not saying this was me. If I had anything to do with it, but if you go back and watch past episodes. When Bull Dempsey first debuted, he started calling himself the last of a dying breed and a couple other things. And I posted something on Twitter about it to him, using that tag, and I was like, well, I think Eddie Kingston might have something to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I have the email saved anymore, but like if anybody ever tweets at me, regardless if they delete it or not, I still get an email. And Bull Dempsey had a few things to say to me, and I guess maybe WWE made him erase them.
Possibly.
What did he say? What did he say? You got to tell me.
It was something like he referenced. First of all, he referenced Eddie Kingston. He said, "I'm not stealing, anybody's gimmick or something like that." And I was just like, and I said, "Look, man, Eddie Kingston has been walking around calling himself the last of a dying breed for years." And I was like, he might have something to say to that. You might want to watch out. And he started talking, he started specifically talking to me. And when I went to go, like I saw the emails first, and then when I went to check Twitter, where people had, where they talked to you, they had been erased, so I still had the emails. And then there was one that said, I respect Eddie Kingston, and he's my boy. What's up, King? Blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, just saying, you might want to, whoever's working with you down there, you just might want to watch it.
Well, he needs some help. He has all the tools to be good, not great, but he needs to lose some weight. He needs to get in some type of shape besides looking like a pear. He needs to stop worrying about what fans say to him, and he needs to work on his cardio. His cardio is crap. I noticed that quickly. I mean, one thing is to squirt yourself down with water, like Ron Bishop and a lot of guys do before matches, but he's just not. He's not. His cardio isn't up to balance to what the WWE needs, especially for a man like that. I mean, if you're going to be a big man, and for God's sakes, as I said earlier, don't do the diving headbutt as your finish. He should have grabbed that Mojo guy up, and he should have hit him with the greetings from Asbury Park or something. It is terrible when you see big men go to the top rope. A big man that size, I don't care if you.
He's in and out for a second.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's the only downside to using the tablet every once in a while. He get just out of range of it, and it dropped. While we're waiting on him to come back in, and we'll try to get him back in, I want to go ahead and bring this one out. And this is something because I've been a fan of the Ascension for a while. I've appreciated the work that they've done down at NXT. And there he is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
Sorry.
There you are.
Like I said, on my tablet. Anyway, that guy needs cardio.
Now, let me bring something back up because I was starting to say a second ago before you came back in. I have appreciated the work that the Ascension has done down in NXT. And I always know, this is something that we all realize, that there is such a thing as doing the honors, period. Could this be a definite sign, considering the fact that they lost the titles to the Lucha Dragons and then got punked out by Kenta, technically, doing the honors, putting him over, but you've got two of the bigger monsters on the NXT roster putting over a much smaller person before he brought the chair into the ring. Could this be the sign that a lot of people have been looking for about the Ascension being called up to the main roster, Mabo?
Oh, I mean, well, they had their, believe it or not, on Main Event, they actually debuted.
Right.
I know Main Event's pretty much a, what do you call that thing? The network exclusive.
Right.
But it, they made their debut, and they've been doing house shows for at least the better part of a year now. I go before when it was O'Brien and Kenneth Cameron, and then of course he got fired and ended up down in TNA. But yeah, I mean Rick Victor and Conor O'Brien, they've been for the better part of a year been doing house shows.
Right.
And sorry, that sneeze made me lose my train of thought. But yeah, no, I didn't. And like I said, for some reason, my feed I missed the entire tag match. I caught like when everybody came out, started the match, and then it cut out. It didn't come back on until the end. I had to hop online to see the results of the tag match, and I saw that they lost, and I was just kind of okay, well that's it's like you said, that's a sign that they're getting called up, or more than likely getting called up.
Right.
But when they came out and confronted Kenta, or what's his name now, Hideo
Itami,
something like that. I was like, oh wow, they just threw him out. I was like, okay, obviously they're pissed off. I figured maybe it would lead to like a tag match, at the next set of tapings. But for him to come back in the ring first, take down both Ascension before getting a chair, I didn't like that. Because these guys are supposed to be beasts. These guys are supposed to be unstoppable.
Correct.
For the better part of a year, they were supposed to be. They were the NXT Tag Champions. So to me, it kind of made the Ascension look weak. But I don't know. I still like the Ascension. It'll be interesting to see what they do when they get called up. Hopefully, it'll be cool.
Wick, let me get your thoughts on it.
Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yes.
Kenta, as we spoke about, as you guys are saying, going and getting the chair. First of all, I'm going to tell you right now, those two big guys, no matter what respect you have for Hideo Punk, that's what I'm going to call him, Hideo Punk. See, he deserves to be able to steal something from Punk. He should, you have to tell these guys, like, don't bump them until you go get the chair. Then you can bump them, whatever, because, then it's a guy with a chair. Let me tell you something. If I'm managing two guys and they get run off by one guy, I'm sending their ass back in the ring. It didn't maybe make them look weak. They did look weak. How tall are those guys? They're over 6 foot, both of them. Kenta's like 5'7".
Right.
You're out of your mind if you think that and William Regal, oh my goodness, William Regal's had to stand there. I'm sure Regal's like, this makes no sense, this makes no sense, this makes no sense. You cannot have two big guys like that and your NXT Tag Team Champions at the time run from one guy. I don't care the respect for Kenta or Hideo Punk, whatever. I don't care. Respect's got nothing to do with it. It's about psychology and business. You've got the numbers game on the guy. William Regal's not going to help his ass out. But there's little things like that. That's what NXT needs, little things for these guys to be up. Because I think that it was a test on the Ascension. I think somebody was testing them to see what they did when Hideo grabbed the chair. I think that they wanted to see if they would let them scatter. You don't powder on a 2-on-1.
Nope.
I'm sorry. You don't powder on a 2-on-1. I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of guys, whenever a babyface gets in the ring for a tag team, they'll get out. Do you think that Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, who is a lot bigger than Kenta, and Joshua Hagan, who is about the size of Kenta, do you think that when they get in the ring, that the Unlucky Charms powder, and Chris and Clyde are nowhere near the size of the Ascension? Hell no. Because if they powdered, I told them I'd kick them in the nuts. We're stronger than them. I'm bigger than both of them. I am bigger than Kenta, and I would not powder for him. He's going to have to take my ass out. But that's psychology. That's where you should have a good agent. I talk about the Bayley and Charlotte match. Good match. But why? Because Charlotte Flair has had psychology driven through her head the entire life that she has led. And it shows. Her psychology, the only psychology I know, and you can say whatever you want to about AJ Lee. AJ Lee is terrible. She can take a bump. That's it. Natalia is the only one on the WWE roster that shows the type of psychology that I saw with Charlotte Flair. I know people, AJ. Well, AJ is given those. If something happens, if something messes up, you can tell. who the veterans are when something goes wrong. Natalya is quick to be able to cover up anything somebody does.
Agreed.
And that's what Charlotte was doing. When Bailey messed up on a kick, barely she no-sold it. Little things. It's the little things.
Yeah. And the little things in life mean a hell of a lot. Real quick, going 6 minutes before the top of the hour. For those of you joining us on TuneIn Radio, the TuneIn Radio app, thank you for joining us on BeyondRingside.com as well as Ustream, Shoutcast, and Winamp. Thank you for hanging with us today.
And Stitcher.
And Stitcher's actually primarily for the Beyondcast.
Shh, that's okay. Hey, Stitcher.
Mm-hmm.
We're moving up. Moving on up.
You got it, buddy. You know, and one of the things, now, I didn't catch, my signal went down during the Baron Corbin situation. I didn't get a chance to see that one, and I still haven't gone back and watched it because actually I've been so enamored. The Enzo Amore, boy, I was going to hit that one a little bit later, but actually the one that I do want to take on before we hit to the top of the hour, the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Championship. That match, basically, I saw very few major things. Okay, there were no major things wrong in that match. There were a couple of little things. Guess what? Big surprise. No big deal. You're dealing with the human condition. But I'm going to sit back and say this. Adrian Neville, Tyler Breeze, Tyson Kidd, and Sami Zayn turned out one hell of a match that, in my book, was pay-per-view main event quality. Anybody want to take issue with that?
I do.
Go
I don't
for
think
it.
It was main event quality. I think that was something that you could have stuck in as a instead of everybody go to the bathroom, a bathroom break. You could have put it in. It was strong. It was solid. But there were times in there you could not tell who was the babyface and who was the heel, with the exception of Sami Zayn.
I would have actually said with the exception of Tyler Breeze.
No. See, that guy's actually pretty good. I like him. But Sami Zayn's the only one that played babyface. The rest of the guys were kind of mixed in,
Blurring the
you know
line.
what I'm saying? And when is it that WWE has started letting people use closed fists?
They've been doing that for a while.
I guess I've missed this. I saw so many closed fists last week. I was like, why the hell are you punching somebody? That's illegal. You do that at GCW, or you do that at Peach State Wrestling, you're gonna get in trouble. Plain and simple. And you cannot have somebody punch you in the face 10 times and not have a black eye.
Correct.
That's stupid. That is absolutely ignorant and retarded. And yes, I said retard, and I don't mean like the mentally disabled people. I'm talking about like I don't know, like a Chase Stevens match.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Mabo, come on in. Your thoughts, main event.
Oh, sorry. I was drinking a glass of water when he said that.
Spit take.
Damn it, Wick, you almost made me choke.
Well, hey, Chase Stevens would like that. He'd probably let you spit in his mouth for the right amount of money.
Okay.
Oh, hey, well, he is pretty. Like I said, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's. I agree with Wick. I wouldn't say main event. Like I said, definitely, I wouldn't have seen that. I don't think I could have seen that like definitely main eventing any kind of major pay per view. Like as far as WWE goes, what it reminded me of though was, remember when TNA would always put their X Division match on first?
Yeah.
Just to get the crowd hype and going. It was to me. It reminded me of that.
Okay.
Just everywhere. Just you couldn't even keep up with the action at some points. I thought it was great though. I liked it a lot. Tyson Kidd, I think he's. Let's be honest. He's never, and this is no shot at him, but he's never going to be anything on the main roster again. Unless they come. I mean, they even tried to stick him with Justin Gabriel as a tag team, and he ended up getting hurt. Or I think Justin got hurt, and then Tyson turned around and got hurt. I mean, I think he found his spot kind of working with the younger talent down in NXT. Well, I mean, technically Tyson's still, he's still at a young age himself.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's ever going to be he's not going to be a major player back at the main roster again. But I think he does solid down there with the new talent.
Well, Go ahead.
Tyler Breeze. I think Tyler Breeze is great. I wish they didn't steal his, don't hit me in the face, shtick and give it
Miz.
to the Miz. Oh, that pissed me off. That pissed me off. Sami Zayn. I didn't think that he would make it without being El Generico, and I have been proven wrong. I'll admit it. I'll be the first one to admit it. I love his little, punk ska entrance and the little dance he does. But the one thing that I hope they don't do, and it's almost like the NXT title is cursed. Whenever somebody gets it, they turn heel. Look at Seth Rollins. Look, because he was the first one, followed by Big E, followed by Bo Dallas. And it looks like they're trying to turn. Hopefully they will not turn Adrian Neville heel. They'll make it, maybe like a friendly rivalry kind of Ring of Honor, respect match or whatever. But
Right.
That's what it starts to look like they're doing. And if they do that, that's just going to piss me off because now it just makes it seem like if you're a face and you get the NXT title, you're going to turn heel.
Didn't we have the same problem with Impact Wrestling doing that for about 2 years?
Yeah, I think we did.
Bobby Roode gets.
And that's the thing is, and every time somebody would try to help somebody out, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm turning on you." Like you can't have a babyface champion. I know that the thing is, to have a heel champion and have the babyface chase. But let's be honest, how many great heels do you know right now besides Bobby Roode, James Storm? Because Bray Wyatt's a babyface. I hate to tell you that. How many great heels do you know right now on the national stage? Honestly, I know we're about to go to a break, but Eddie, name me one heel besides Bobby Roode and James Storm, and don't say Bully Ray.
And actually, you're going to have to hold that thought because I'm going to have to take issue with the factor of Bobby Roode because he's over as a face character right now. But I'll give you that answer, solid as a stone, so to speak. Maybe as solid as Stu Stone. There's your Championship Wrestling from Hollywood reference for segment 1, and we'll be back on Beyond Ringside Live right after this.
This is Harley Race, 8 times NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, first ever King of the Ring, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Lane, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
This is Mr. Wrestling 2. You're locked into Beyond Ringside.
This is Bob Allen, co-author of Gordon Soley's Something Left Behind and the Soley Chronicles, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Smart Rage from Wrestle Rage Radio, coming to you from the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Join myself and my co-host, Super Stan Grubb, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, as we present Wrestle Rage Radio, where we rant and rave on everything in the world of pro wrestling. Sometimes we'll have a guest. Sometimes it'll be just me and Stan BSing about the sport that we love, pro wrestling. Check us out. Tune in Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, only on the Beyond Ringside Network.
This is Todd Howard from LN Promotions, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
The music plays, the microphones go hot, and we are live 7 minutes after the top of the hour on this beautiful Sunday. Hope it's great where you are. 14th day of September. Thank you for hanging with us on Beyond Ringside Live. Want to remind everybody, of course, you can catch all the live programming here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network all the way through. Check us out through BeyondRingside.com. Check us out through Ustream. Check us out through TuneIn Radio, the TuneIn Radio app, as well as Shoutcast and Winamp. Going to give the full lowdown on Shoutcast and Winamp in just a couple of seconds. Fast Eddie Lane, live from Studio One, welcoming back in Mark Mabo Bowman. What's up, dude?
Still trying not to sneeze. It's like, kid you not, this is the longest a sneeze has ever been stuck in my nasal cavity, and I know during this specific interview coming up, it's just going to ruin everything.
Welcoming back in the Wicked Nemesis. What's up, dude?
Big shout out to my man Caprice Coleman, old friend of mine, the voice of God, the Metatron, not the Megatron. The Megatron, that would be Murder One.
There you go.
But Caprice, nobody cuts a promo like Caprice Coleman, except for maybe our guest tonight.
And ladies and gentlemen, he is a great friend to us here at the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Always a pleasure to have him on board. A lot of you know him as the voice of Chikara, as well as a number of different projects around the Northeast and across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, Gavin Loudspeaker returns to Beyond Ringside. Gavin, how you doing tonight?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beyond Ringside. Gavin Loudspeaker coming to you live Sunday night. Here we are. We're going to talk about wrestling. We're going to talk about science. We're going to talk about monsters. We're going to talk about excitement. We're going to talk about King of Trios. How's everybody out there?
Dude, first off, long time no see. I hope everything's been going well, and I know you've been keeping busy. What all have you had on the plate?
Well, I mean, honestly, right now I'm watching some Georgia Championship Wrestling. I've really been going back to the oldies, watching some old stuff in the early 80s. And I'm watching some great Georgia Championship Wrestling. Before that, I was watching some Memphis Championship Wrestling. So I've really been immersing myself into the history of our great sport.
Yeah, with Georgia Championship Wrestling, I got to lay it out there because for me, that was one of the first real promotions that I saw. Of course, NWA out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, with the Goulas promotion here in Alabama, and then the advent of me getting cable and being able to see Georgia Championship Wrestling. Gordon Soley, Freddie Miller, with Mr. Wrestling 2, the Mass Superstar, Super Destroyer, Junkyard Dog, Ted DiBiase, Tommy Rich. And you had some great talent go through those doors and in and out of that ring during that era.
Yeah, right now they're showing a vignette of like a ninja. I don't know, maybe it was the Great Muda.
Kabuki?
I'm not sure who it is,
Kabuki.
but they're just showing a vignette. Chucks and he's flipping them around. He's meditating in a Japanese garden.
Kabuki.
I'm thinking Kabuki.
It has to be. Gary Hart has to be in that.
Yeah, because this is 1983, so it is Kabuki.
Yeah, that would be Kabuki, managed by Gary Hart, and they were in the middle of a feud with the American Dream Dusty Rhodes at that point, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and now we've got the Briscoe brothers talking on screen, and Jack Briscoe's got the belt, and Jerry's got the microphone.
Jack and Jerry Briscoe, pure timeless and pure class all the way across the board. I mean, to me, Jack was one of the best wrestlers to come down the pike during the 70s and the mid 80s, and the man represented the NWA Championship beautifully. But let me go ahead and lay this one out there. If there was one era or one promotion, I know you've been catching up on Memphis as well as Georgia. If you had to do a coin toss, which one would you rather do the announcing for right now?
Oh, because I would choose like 1983 to 1985 World Class.
Nice.
Last year, that's what I would have wanted to be a part of.
And of course, that would be.
Von Erichs?
I don't know if that counts as an era, but
No, it actually does. And Wicked was asking about the direct reference to the Von Erichs on that one.
yeah, Von Erichs. I mean, everything that they did with the using music and the Freebird, Gary Hart, and all the tag teams, the Chris Adams and Gino Hernandez and Bruiser Brody, on and on and on.
Hercules Hernandez, I think, was still out there during that era. I'm trying to remember because there was so much great talent.
Oh, yeah, Hercules Diplo was.
Say again?
I'm sorry. Iceman King Parsons was a big
Yes.
one.
And actually, Iceman King Parsons was floating between World Class and Mid-South Wrestling at that point with Bill Watts' promotion.
Yeah, he just looked like a really legitimate tough person.
Iceman.
The fact that he had a chest tattoo back when not everybody even had a tattoo.
Very true.
Do you guys remember whenever Iceman was a Freebird for a night?
Missed that.
I remember that. It was pretty brief.
Yeah, it was one night, but still, he went out there and he rocked with the Freebirds. Yeah, see, I grew up in Dallas in '86 and '87, so I caught the tail end of World Class. But I have to ask a question to Gavin really quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, Gavin, what have you learned? And you've been watching all this old stuff, and that's really what you go back to watch the old stuff from, is to hone your craft, to see what you can do. Is there someone or is there something that you've seen you're like, that makes me better? That's
funny. I love what I watched growing up, which is early '80s WWF, and listening to that Vince McMahon do that commentary.
Yeah.
That's just, I don't know if I love it because I think it's great, or if I love it just because it reminds me of being a kid, or what. But that's what I've always tried to emulate.
You can actually have the best of both worlds in that particular regard. And while we're going around the table, let's do it. Mark Mabo Bowman, come on in.
Hi.
Son of a... I figured at this point you would have a question to jump in with Gavin.
Oh, I didn't know. I was just letting you guys have fun and talk shop and everything. And just
Mabo's waiting for the karaoke to start.
Oh, karaoke, and I'm waiting for. We all know what I'm waiting to start talking about. Sandwiches. I love sandwiches.
Why do I not have the Tony Stark drop ready to go right now? Because I didn't see that coming. Let me before you mentioned the K word. I'm going to ask you, because we talked about it last time you were on. As of this current run right now, what has been the most oversung and abused? If you want to break them up, put them together, or keep them separate, that's fine. Song that you've seen.
What's the karaoke karaoke killer these days? I guess I don't like. Honestly, I guess since it's my job and I do it every night, I guess nothing really bothers me anymore. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think that Don't Stop Believin' is always a bad idea, and Bohemian Rhapsody can be left out. It's not necessary for the night to succeed. But if somebody wants to bust out those songs, I don't want because I do karaoke every single night. You know what I mean? They maybe only do karaoke one night a year. If they want to sing those songs, who am I to keep them from doing it?
Yeah, for me, the ones that I've actually taken, one I took out of my system was Brad Paisley and Alison Krauss Whiskey Lullaby, because every bar owner who's heard that song done, it's like, dude, tell them you don't have it, please. It's like, okay, no problem. And the other one that just makes me want to drink every time I hear it, and I'm actually talking about drinking battery acid as opposed to Cuervo or Jägermeister, is Picture, Kid Rock, Sheryl Crow.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? All right. And so now that you've got me going here, I can't stand Lady Antebellum. Need You? Yeah, Lady Antebellum, Need You Now is really overdone. And the other one would be anything from Grease. The musical Grease, not the country.
Oh, okay. So in other words,
now you've ruffled Eddie's feathers, because Eddie loves doing that Grease song. He even has another version of it. But I want to ask both of you guys something. Somebody walks up to the machine and tells you, "I want to hear Glenn Frey, You Belong to the City." Your first thought, Gavin.
Did you say You Belong to the City?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You want me to start singing it right now? You belong to the city. You belong to the night. River, something about a river of darkness. Who is that?
We now have the soundbite for later on in the show.
That's not Phil Collins. Who is that?
It's Glenn Frey.
Greg Price?
Glenn Frey.
Glenn Frey, the Eagle. Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, actually, what Wick was asking was, and I guess you didn't hear him on that one. If someone comes up and wants to sing it, what's the first thing that goes through your head?
Oh. Wow. I guess that this person must spend a lot of time browsing through Walmart.
You got it on that one. I'm not even going to touch it. Phrase it pays. I got nothing. No, it's like when it's certain Eagles songs and certain songs that are done by former Eagles members that should not be done. It's like if somebody comes up and says, I want to sing New York Minute by Don Henley, I'm going to go just order me a 16-piece set of wings right now and just wait until you get done before I come back up. I take no credit. Unless, of course, but see, here's the thing. You can normally tell by the first song someone does if they've got the guns in order to pull off another song that's going to take it up a notch. And it's like if they've done, Good Directions by Billy Currington as their first song, and then they want to sing something ultra poetic, I'm going, earplugs, please.
Well, it's also all about timing. Because speaking of Don Henley, someone sang "Boys of Summer," just the other week,
right?
And the timing was perfect. The summer's over. We're all sad. That song is just. I think that song really does pull at your heartstrings, even if you do sing it poorly.
Very true.
So I think that can also make for a great performance as well. But it's not but again, karaoke to me, in my opinion, it's not a competition, and I certainly don't allow any wagering.
Unless they're going to bet a beer.
Bribery is something else entirely.
That works altogether. Yeah, and now depending on where you do it, it's like if you do it in a family restaurant, of course you have to watch out for people who want to come up and sing something like, "Hey, pop that" by the 2 Live Crew, and you say, "Nope, can't do that here. Sorry."
Yeah. Perhaps you'd like to do some Will Smith.
I'll aggravate the hell out of him and say, "Here, try this one by Justin Bieber so people will boo you out of the building." No. I'm not.
I get rid of them.
I'm not kidding. But speaking of being serious, and we're going to do this hard segue. Before we do, one of the topics that we've always enjoyed talking with you about, of course, is Kaiju Big Battle. Now, one of the most elusive situations for people who don't really take the time to keep track of Kaiju. First off, other than wanting to smack them on the head with a feather duster, what do you tell them?
Well, I just say, perhaps you are uninitiated. Kaiju Big Battle is it's a live monster wrestling show, and it happens right in front of your face inside a ring where kaiju, which means like a giant Japanese monster, like let's say Godzilla, for instance. But we have all kinds of monsters, and they battle it out. Dr. Cube, who some people might be familiar with from Chikara, he is an evil scientist, and he creates monsters that destroy cities all over this great nation of ours. And in retaliation, there is a crew of the kaiju heroes, like Kung Fu Chicken Noodle, and American Beetle, and the Plantain Twins. And they come together and they fight the evil monsters of Dr. Cube, and they do it right in the middle of the ring, and they destroy entire city blocks, and do tons and tons of property damage to valuable tenement buildings in such cities as New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, New Orleans, and pretty soon we are coming for the very first time to the sunny state of Florida.
Very cool. What part?
We are going to be doing four shows in the month of October, at the end of October, and they will be in the cities of Wyber, which is near Tampa.
Right.
They would be part of in Gainesville, Florida, and also Jacksonville. I think that's going to be part of a music deal called The Fest. I don't know if you've heard of it. And then also Orlando.
Very cool, very cool. So in other words, y'all get a good vacation, not necessarily a working vacation on Kaiju. Get to spend it down in Florida.
Yeah, it's actually, this is the first. This is the first time we've done a tour, so to say.
Mabo, come on board. I know you've been chomping at the bit on this topic.
About Kaiju?
Yes.
Oh, I love the Kaiju. I hadn't seen anything lately, and it's shame on me, but I have no doubt that that Dr. Cube has been up to his nefarious shenanigans.
Well, as it works out, we are going to be in Orlando on Halloween. I think that is going to be a pretty outrageous night.
Well, is there any truth to the rumor that since you guys will be, near Orlando, or in Orlando, the Orlando proper, any truth to the rumor that Dr. Cube might actually try to take over the Magic Kingdom?
There is, not only truth, there is a theory that Dr. Cube is the mastermind behind the utilidors that run underneath Disney World. And that the utilidors are secretly a tunnel to Dr. Cube laboratories that he has all throughout the underground sections of Disney World. And there's even a plan for a Kaiju Land theme park.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, we've only run into one obstacle to make that happen.
And what would that be?
We need about $700 million to make that happen, and we don't exactly have those funds yet. Yeah. But once we do, we'll have a lot of money to play with.
I thought you were just going to say the lack of proper real estate that would be adequate and suitable.
Well, the real estate used to be so doggone cheap until Walt went down there and jacked up the prices.
Yeah, anything that the property values just go ahead and they say it's like, let's go commercial, let's charge more, even if we don't have to.
He bought that for like 3 cents an acre, and then as soon as they found out it was Walt Disney property, it becomes $3,000 an acre.
At least, yeah, definitely. Mabo, you were about to say?
Oh, I could just imagine, Dr. Q being the next great Disney villain, standing alongside Captain Hook and Maleficent.
Yeah.
Oh,
that would be cool.
He could definitely possibly be enlisting the help of Disney Imagineer Raleigh Crump. Have you heard of that guy?
Heard the name.
Crump?
Yeah, Raleigh Crump. He's a famous Disney Imagineer, and he designed the Haunted Mansion and many other super famous rides.
Oh.
I know the name, but I don't know that much of the background, so I really can't add on anything on that one. My apologies. Shoot me.
Well, see, I'm a big Disney fanatic, and shame on me for actually not knowing the name Raleigh Crump. I mean, I know
I recently just came across it because Disney recently came out with a comic book called Seekers of the Weird, and it's based on
that.
Yeah, and it's based on a Disney ride that was never ever made, and it was called the Museum of the Weird, and it was designed by Raleigh Crump, and it was going to be a walkthrough you walked through it before you went into the Haunted Mansion, like a queue, like a line, and then you look at all the Museum of the Weird stuff, and he designed all this crazy stuff. And then, but Walt Disney ended up dying in 1966, so they ended up not making that, and they just used some of the stuff in the Haunted Mansion. But for some reason, this ride lives on in the minds of every single Disney fanatic, and they're always like, "Why? How come maybe they'll make it one day? Maybe they'll do it again. Maybe they'll make a movie about it." One time there was a talk about making a movie about it, the Museum of the Weird. But finally, I guess Disney made a comic book with Marvel, and they just put out a comic book about it.
See, that's why when you said the name, when you said the name, that's why it sounded familiar, because I picked up the first issue. I haven't been able to find the 2, 3, and 4.
And I think they're only at 1 right now.
Oh, no. Secrets of the Weird, they're over, and they actually have everything collected in a trade.
Oh, really? I've only been able to...
And they've actually moved on to a Figment, based on the Epcot ride, the Figment comic book.
Oh, so they're on the second ride now?
Oh, well, I wouldn't say it's a ride. It's you remember Figment from Epcot?
Oh, he's in it.
Yeah, it's the comic book based on him. It's very steampunk-esque.
Oh, and this is part of the Disney. Is it called Kingdom?
Yeah, I think it's going to be called the Kingdom series. I got the latest issue right in front of me somewhere. Disney Kingdoms.
And do me a favor, let me shift gears real quick. Wicked Nemesis, welcome back in.
Sorry about that. I'm having problems with the tablet and the laptop, so What did I miss? Do we talk about anybody? We talk about this Kaiju Big Battle and how it's man versus monsters, and monsters are ruling the world.
We really just got started into that topic. That's why I'm glad you called back in when you did.
Oh yes, yay! Kaiju Big Battle. Everybody knows I love that.
Kaiju Big Battle is we're actually this is a milestone year. It's our 20th anniversary.
Holy crap!
It's it'll either make you feel really young or really old. I don't know. For me, it's definitely really old, but we're having fun with it, and we're having a big anniversary show in New York City on October 11th at Stage 48.
Hey, that's my birthday.
Oh, really? Well, we're gonna have a big party. It's a big celebration, and we're rumored to be busting out the time machine and getting some old kaiju stars from the past, even ones who may have been deceased through the use of a time machine. What do you think of that?
Very cool.
I think Gwen Fry wrote a song about that.
Well, would you be using the Flash's time treadmill, or possibly Mr. Fantastic's time machine? Anything specific? Because I think the time treadmill would be perfect.
I haven't thought of the Flash's time treadmill in forever and a day. Now, did that go when Barry went, or did Wally use that too? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, Wally had it.
Okay.
It's in the Flash Museum, or it was.
Time treadmill sounds like something you could buy off a television ad, like a 1-800.
I think Ron.
Get the time treadmill, travel through time, and lose weight.
It's better than the Black Racer skis, so nobody gets that joke. That was funny though. The nerds get that.
The nerds get that one.
Nerds.
Okay, Ogre.
Nerd.
Wow. Now, you were making a reference to the upcoming New York date.
As a tear runs down my cheek, you guys can't see.
It's a great movie. Revenge of the Nerds is a fantastic movie, and I would love to go back and play Ogre. What about Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise?
Nerds in
They go to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, excellent song by 38 Special as well.
Oh man, I'm old now.
Wow.
Take Me Back to Paradise. I haven't heard that song in a while.
You know the time is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it real. Take me back to paradise.
I haven't. Okay, this is bad. I haven't thought of that song in forever and a damn day.
Oh, I cried a little bit.
Do me a favor, guys. We're going to go to the bottom of the hour break. Folks, hang with us. We will be back with Gavin Loudspeaker, a special guest, in give us about 3 minutes on this C break, and we'll be back. This is Beyond Ringside Live.
This is Randy Rose from the original Midnight Express, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This is Q-Ball Carmichael, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside. Listen up, friends.
Hey everyone, this is the Cause, Robert Cosper, host of Cause and Effects Thursday Night Radio Throwdown. This is your invitation to join me, along with the Effects Stuart Couch, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, and all of the craziness that is C&E, right here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. It's wrestling radio with a twist, and some might just say with a twist of lime when the bar is open. Cause and Effect, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
This is Country Jack, Corey Hollis, and you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Lane.
And I'm the Cause, Robert Cosper.
And this is your invitation to join us
and the Hitman, Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock, right here for the Saturday Showcase.
At Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific Time. See? We do math around this place. Be sure to catch us right here on BeyondRingside.com. You can also listen through Winamp for Android and BlackBerry, as well as the Shoutcast mobile app for Apple as well. Remember, that's Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
And let me tell you how you can find the Hitman, Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock on social media. It's very easy. It's at www.kissmyass.
Whoa. Stop that right there. Folks, we'll see you Saturday on the Showcase. Bye for now.
Hey, folks. This is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan. and you're locked into Beyond Ringside. This time,
You know, I joke about this, but there's going to come a point in time where we actually release the off-air version of the show. Damn it. Welcome back into Beyond Ringside Live, 24 before the top of the hour on this beautiful Sunday, the 14th day of September. Hoping everybody's having a great weekend. Live from Studio 1, Fast Study Lane, live for Bohemian Grove, the Wicked Nemesis.
If Jennifer Grey jumps my arms, I don't know if I hit her with a European uppercut. I may hit her with a 3D, though. 3D! Now
Live from an area code that nobody can pronounce, Mark Mabo Bowman.
Oh, we gonna Claudio that ish.
And ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest at this time, good friend of the family here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, Gavin Loudspeaker. Gavin, welcome back.
Well, you can probably expect Dr. Cube and his monsters to 3D Jennifer Grey through a building.
We can work with this concept. I want video. Of course, that seems to be the topic we've talked about off air. We've all said something, and somebody else will say, I want video. And there's some things that will never be videoed if I can help it.
Hey, Dr. Cube is my pick for King of Trios, so you better watch out.
Actually, Dr. Cube is my pick for 2016 presidential nomination. At least you know. At least you know. And I'll leave it at that. Because if you don't know, then you better know, because it's always good to know. Speaking of good to know, and there is a word that starts with the same letter as know. It's called king. And in this case, sometimes you might just want to try to dissect things into three parts, which would make it a trio. I'm going a long way for this one, kids, and it's almost paying off. Coming up, we are right around the corner from one of the biggest events of the year. From Chikara Pro Wrestling, King of Trios, KOT 14, the 19th, 20th, and 21st in Easton, Pennsylvania. Gavin, does it get any crazier than King of Trios?
Absolutely not. I mean, King of Trios is definitely the grandest stage in Chikara. We roll out the red carpet and pull out all the stops. Every single year, King of Trios is the highlight. And, of course, last year we were unable to have King of Trios, so it's an even bigger celebration because we're coming back after a year-long break. The Chikara fans are rabid, and they are ready for the greatest Trios tournament in the entire world.
Before we really start hitting on KOT, Mabo, you and I have had discussions about the rebirth of Chikara. Now, I know that you and I have both been very outspoken, you more so than myself on this one. Come on in with Gavin on this one. I know that there's probably a question or two you want to ask him.
Eddie, don't, because you don't want to start crying. Because, I told you I started crying at the end of National Pro Wrestling Day this year. So I don't want to talk about it. I just want to stick to King of Trios. I don't want to bring it up because I'm just happy that Chikara is back. So stop trying to make me cry, damn it.
I'm not trying to make you cry, but I had a feeling there might be a question or two that you wanted to ask. And let me go ahead and lay this one out there. Gavin, for you personally, on the rebirth of Chikara, when everything started coming back into play and you knew that the stars were lining up and everything was going to be back in action, what was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was, oh my God, Chikara's coming back. And the very next thing I thought was, oh my God, that means we're going to have another King of Trios.
Nice segue, thank you.
And that is exactly what was my thought, because I was like, King of Trios, we give to the world, something that, this part of the country doesn't really get to see. Not only the style of wrestling that comes from the Trios tournament, but also all this talent that's from the past, talent that is, that are coming up on their way up that people have heard about, and mixing it up in all kinds of other matches that take place during the weekend. As teams get eliminated, that affects how other matches line up that weekend. And of course, there's the Rey de Voladores tournament, which is the King of High Flyers.
Right.
And then, of course, you bring that together with Chikara fans from all over the globe who fly in from other countries just to see King of Trios.
Now,
so it really is my favorite. It's our WrestleMania, if you want to put it that way.
Well, that's what I was just going to actually say, Gavin, because Chikara's intrepid reporter Babs, she has Chikara in 15 minutes or less, and she always says on her podcast that to her, KOT is her WrestleMania. And I have to agree. I mean, as much as I love, I love the Cibernetico. I think, I always look forward to seeing the two teams established for the Cibernetico. But, and of course, Anniversario and all that. But to me, it's like I have to agree with her. King of Trios is my WrestleMania because you have so much going on that weekend. You have once again, it's being brought back to Fan Conclave. If I'm not mistaken, you guys are going to be doing the second potluck and whatever cookout.
Oh yeah, cookout, right? The fan, which is totally, that's all the fans. That they're the ones who come and they bring all the food and the refreshments and they make all that happen. Like that's like I don't think people realize how much the fans actually are part of everything that goes on that weekend. And the Fan Conclave too. I mean, it's all like games and interactive stuff and singing songs. We had karaoke one year. It was actually Chikaraoke is what
there you go.
Well, I've heard that there may be rumor of you might be doing a medley of some of your best of.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to be doing some new ones too.
Oh, awesome! But see, that's what I like. And like you said, you mentioned the fans, the Chikarmi and the Chikarm forces, and they are what helped perpetuate and keep the dream of Chikara alive when it was shut down through the scavenger hunts and the I am Chikara, we are Chikara, and I mean damn it, I'm crying again. Eddie, take over.
Okay.
Give me a tissue.
Now, for our friends in the northeastern United States, and I hate to segment it like that, but it's the truth, because a lot of people in the northeastern U.S., as well as the upper mid-Atlantic area, have an opportunity to catch a great 3-night event. And I will agree, especially with the talent that Chikara has always made it a tradition to bring in, as well as the homegrown mega talent that they have. You've got some dynamic performers, some great athletes that perform under the banner of Chikara, and when you have the opportunity to have all of these stars as well as additional stars coming in that you're gonna know, you're gonna recognize, and you're gonna be able to identify with because you're already fans of them as well. And go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the Chikarmi also, I love watching who they latch on to over the course of the weekend.
Right.
Because sometimes a team will come out of nowhere, or a team that they're not familiar with, and they'll just win them over, over the course of 3 nights. And by the third night, you're really pulling for this team who 2 nights ago you didn't really know who they were. I really love watching that happen. I saw it happen many times. One instance I remember was like with the Soul Touches, who kind of came out of nowhere and became instant Chikara favorite.
Right. We'll see. It's like for me, 2 of the reasons why I would love to be up there for that. Of course, a good friend of ours here on the network, Kizarni, Sinbodi, and the Auditorium making their appearance on this weekend for King of Trios.
Members of Blood.
No, Eddie, this show. I know this is your baby, but we are not going to have anything to do with the Flood. We're not going to stand behind anything they do. Anybody who is represented by the Flood who's been on the show, they are persona non grata, and we're not going to tolerate it. It's plain and simple.
All right. Well, then that would mean you're talking about groups like the BDK. That means you're talking about Sidney Bacabella's Wrecking Crew. That means you're talking about Dr. Cube. That means you're talking about Jimmy Jacobs and his vulture-like army that he's got. And, you're talking about the Gekido as well. All of these groups together come under the banner of the Flood.
And like I said, I know, Eddie, you said that, Sinbodi's been on. That's fine. But we're not going to back him. Not going to do it.
Sinbodi he's just as evil as he is weird, He's sort of like the wrestling version of the post office.
Good analogy. I like that one. I will go.
Can I sing a song?
Say it again.
Can I sing a song for you guys? I have a song prepared just for you guys.
Bring it on.
You ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, Gavin Loudspeaker.
All right, here we go. Can you hear the guitar?
Yes, I can.
All right, here we go. keep on spinning. Take me back to my family life. Singing songs about lucha libre. Having fun, super party vibes, and keep it alive. Sweet home, my Chikara. Well, robes all blue. Sweet home, my Chikara. We're coming home for good. Now some folks don't want to party. Some folks just shut us down like the flood. Give those jokers a reminder. And run those jokers out of town and say it loud. Sweet home, my Chikara. Well, robes all blue. Sweet home, my Chikara. We're coming home for good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Gavin Loudspeaker. I love it.
That was the abbreviated version. It goes on for another 7 minutes.
So when do we get the full music video?
At King Trios. You'll get it live, and then the video will be coming shortly after that.
Very nice, unexpected, greatly appreciated. Do me a favor, and I know that we're gonna have to pay attention on the way that I say certain things, because there have been some guests who we've had on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network that are going to fall into that category, to where Mabo's going to sit back and say, "Eddie, watch it." But let's go ahead and run this down. The opening round matches for KOT: Team UK versus the Block Party.
That's going to be a very, very interesting matchup right there. The Block Party have been brutal in their assault, and they've been gaining a lot of steam. Watch out for Mr. Azerbaijan. He's incredibly sexy. He's won Mr. Azerbaijan's Sexiest Man multiple years in a row, and he brings that cocky confidence to the ring, as well as his partners in brutal combat against these youngsters from the UK.
And I was hoping Mabel would catch the message. I'll go ahead and bring it in. The acronym that I can never really put together properly because my brain always short circuits halfway through. Mabo?
Night Eye for the Pirate Guy versus Gekido.
Thank you.
There you go, right there. I mean, now you're talking about Gekido, where you're talking about the Shard, Jigsaw, and 17. Shard and Jigsaw are former tag team champions themselves, and 17 is always deadly because he is a master of 17 secret moves in wrestling that were forgotten, that have been outlawed since.
Another one of the first round pairings coming up for King of Trios: The Flood versus the Spectral Envoy.
Well, now right there is, I mean, that's your meat and potatoes. I mean, you're talking about the Flood, the cause of all of our grief right now, going against one of the most popular trios of all time, possibly the most popular single wrestler of all time, Ultramantis Black, his Spectral Envoy, longtime partner and ally, Wicked, who's also a former Young Lions Cup champion, former Campeones de Parejas, and then Frightmare, of course, the protege, who is just a ball of frenetic ball of kinetic energy, and he is a former rookie of his first year. He was a rookie of Pro Wrestling Observer's Rookie of the Year. So we're talking about the Spectral Envoy being, if not the top tag team in Chicago, definitely one of them.
Now, for those listening to clarify, when Eddie says the Flood, this was one of the many factions of the Flood. This one being, I believe they're calling it BD Cubed, which would be Aris, Knockin', and Dr. Q will be taking on the Spectral Envoy.
Yeah, Ari's the longtime mastermind behind BDK, which, at one time held, had members like Sarah Del Rey and Claudio Castagnoli, as well as Tim Donst, and you remember that. But at this point right now, he's enlisted this character, Knockin', who is a very, very imposing figure, very almost big like Tursis in a lot of ways. Yes. And Ares, of course, a devious mastermind. He was involved in the scandal behind the Eye of Tyr, if you guys remember that. Yeah. And then Dr. Cube, of course, always in the center of the supernatural controversies of the world.
Well, you also know how you can tell Ares is a bad guy? That killer mustache he's sporting these days.
Yeah,
Go look at it. Go look at the picture. That mustache screams evil.
You would not shave your facial hair into that unless you wanted to tell people that you are evil.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Maybe it wasn't BDQ.
He doesn't want to be bothered at airports.
Who wants to be bothered at an airport? Better yet, it's like trying to bother me during the middle of a crab leg buffet. No, not going to happen. I will turn evil in a heartbeat. Heel turn, unlike John Cena. Can't do that. Team Extravaganza taking on the Devastation Corporation.
Absolutely. Well, Devastation Corporation has left a trail of carcasses in their wake. Sidney Bacabella has proved to be a ruthless businessman, and his team of Max Smashmaster, Blaster McMassive, and don't forget Flex Rumble Crunch. They're sort of like if you combine Demolition, the Road Warriors, the Powers of Pain, and Chronic.
God, that's another one I haven't thought of in a while, and that's Chronic. And they were a good team.
Also, don't forget about an exciting team that I'm really happy about, which is the Golden Trio, which is going to consist of all of Chikara's champs. Like Icarus is our grand champion, and the Throwbacks, who are our tag team champs,
nice,
are De Parejas, and they're going to comprise an entire trio of champs. And maybe add King of Trios to that championship list.
Quite conceivable and quite easily possible, and they're going to be taking on LAX that night.
And how about that? Oh, what a shocker! LAX coming into Chikara. That is definitely, this is a first for King of Trios first. So I'm excited to see what happens. See the fireworks here. It's going to be crazy.
Mabo, come on in.
Hold on, Ed, before you continue, I'd like to correct myself because apparently my phone is cracked and it was messing up the pictures. It's actually the flood part of this taking on Spectral Envoy would be Eddie Kingston, Jimmy Jacobs, and Volgar.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of messed that up. My phone. Yeah, you've seen that cracked phone I use. So it's the BD Cubed is taking on 3-Pack-O, my team to win this year.
Well, 3-Pack-O, has proven to be a great team in the past, not just in the ring, but outside of the ring, as they rallied the Chikara fans during that dark period where Chikara wasn't around, and of course, in the end, procuring the DeLorean and saving National Pro Wrestling Day.
And who knew Archie could get his hands on a DeLorean?
I'm sure it wasn't easy. I'm sure it took all three of them.
Well, they don't call him Big Magic for no reason.
They don't. That is true.
Now, did we cover who 3-Pack-O is taking on in night number 1 for King of Trios?
Yeah, that would be Aries, Knockin', and Dr. Cube.
Okay.
Dr. Cube. Yeah. And then, so the Spectral Envoy is taking on the Flood combination of Jimmy Jacobs and Eddie Kingston, who recently sort of created an alliance where there surely wasn't one before. Jimmy Jacobs playing mind games with Eddie Kingston, and his, I guess the only way I can describe it is love affair with the Chikara Grand Championship. I mean, he kind of refers to it as he refers to it as she, as if it's a real woman,
right.
And almost like a scorned lover that has left him.
Well, I mean, as those I can't remember which show it was recently, but Jacobs made the promise to King to help him get her back, And for those who've been keeping up with the point system, Jimmy Jacobs is in line for a shot at Icarus's Grand Championship. So, do you think Jacobs would lay the belt at the feet of King, or do you think maybe he? And we have not spoken of him, and I'm honestly kind of afraid to mention his name because I don't want him to kick my bedroom door down. But do you think maybe he would turn it over to Decalion?
That is interesting. That's some interesting conspiracy theories there. You seem to know a little bit. You seem to know a lot.
I don't know anything, sir.
You seem to have a lot of information here. I'm kind of wondering how.
Well, I can guarantee you that my flag stands firmly in the camp of Chikara and not the Flood.
Okay. All right, if you say so.
How dare you, sir? How dare you? Okay, I mean,
I'm just saying that thought never even crossed my mind. You know, that's just me. That's just me personally.
Look, Gavin, I'll admit Aries' mustache is very alluring. It rivals Dan Severn's mustache, but it is not enough to sway me to the side of the Flood. Firmly Chikara.
That would be fair. That would definitely be fair. I would personally I would like to see Dan Severn and Aries perform some Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Mabo, set up 6.
What'd I do?
There goes production chat.
No, this next match. Sorry.
Yes.
I got mesmerized by the picture of Aries' mustache. Sorry. It was wooing me over to the Flood.
Okay, do me a favor. Lean in. That'll get you back to reality.
The colony, making up, being comprised of Fire Ant, the newly christened Silver Ant as of this season. He's no longer green; he is silver. And for those who do not think there is such thing as a Silver Ant, there is a Silver Ant that exists, I believe, in one of the desert climates. And I think from what it ingests, it helps protect it from the heat and gives it that silvery sheen. And no longer a sail ant, he is now a worker ant.
He is. Absolutely. The colony is back, stronger than ever. They're in first round action going up against their sort of counter nemesis is the Colony Extreme Force, which are really just a cheap knockoff of the Colony. There's someone who I'm not going to talk about thought it was a good idea since the colony was successful, to just make another colony and give them lots of fluorescent colored costumes and big accessories and give them guns and space helmets. And the Colony Extreme Force, I think everybody sees them as the knockoff colony. So we're going to have the colony taking on the Colony Extreme Force to see who is the true colony, the true ants of Chikara.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, that person who some would say he sort of redeemed himself, but did he not award the colony's original King of Trios medals to the Extreme Force?
He retroactively it crowned them kings of trios, which he had no right to do. And he also, not for nothing, he also tried to kill me.
Well, that's not good either.
He threw me in the ring with a savage brute, with plans for me to see my demise. So, I don't really think that we need to talk about Wink Vavasaur, that's for sure.
He put you in the ring with my mom?
Okay, I'm gone. And there is one more match that we because you started to bring up the Golden Trio a minute ago, and I want to hit back on that one for a second. But I want to talk about a match that does have a lot of people talking on a different scale, and that is the Spirit Squad taking on Kizarny in the Auditorium.
How about that? The Spirit Squad. Going to bring a little cheerocracy back to the King of Trios. Speaking of bring it on.
And you got it. We talked about it a minute ago. And Mabo, go and just close your ears. Kizarny in his Auditorium. There's a lot to be said for the variety of personalities and athletes that are going to be participating in this year's King of Trios, Gavin.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that variety is definitely the key to that satisfying meal that everyone wants when they go to see a wrestling show. I just recently heard Kevin Sullivan talking about wrestling on a podcast, and he mentioned how wrestling should be like a circus, and I totally agree with that. That's exactly what I think. There should be this, you have this the tightrope walkers, and then you have the clowns, and you have the acrobats, and you have the strong man, and then you finish, you have the lion tamer, the human cannonball at the end. And I really think that that is the spirit of King of Trios, and I think everybody benefits from it. We get to see, the stars that we all love and names that we all know really well. We get to see them mix it up with up-and-comers who get to learn from that. And then, of course, we get to see the Chikara stars shine underneath the spotlight of their biggest show. And it's a really proud moment for me because, I love wrestling so much. And I just really love the style of wrestling that Chikara brings to our live events. I think it's pretty unique. I think it's like none other.
Well, see, that's something that we have preached here on this show and up and down the network for quite a while. And when the return, if you want to use that term, or the rebirth of Chikara took place, there were so many people who were smiling and so many people who were applauding. And now the fact that we've got KOT back and it's right around the corner, it's coming up this weekend. Now, we've had a chance to talk about some of the matches or the matches that are going to take place on night one. Longtime Jakarmi faithful are going to remember, are really enjoying the factor of the Enclave taking place this weekend. Are there any additional surprises that you might want to throw out there, maybe for night 2 or night 3 that haven't been actually brought up yet?
Well, I definitely want to again mention the Rey de Voladores tournament. Now this happens. We do this. It's a tradition that we've done at every King of Trios. It's sort of like the tournament within the tournament, and it's Rey de Voladores is translated to the King of High Flyers. So it's an exciting mini tournament where we have had some great winners in the past, like some past winners include Incognito, who you now know as Sin Cara in the WWE.
Right.
Another past winners have been, we're talking about Kota Ibushi. We're talking about famous Chikara guys such as Helios, who now is Ricochet in Japan.
Right.
So Rey de Voladores is going to be super. Is can definitely be one of the most exciting parts of the non-tournament action, and I think we got Tigre Uno signed for that tournament. Oh, I think it's a star who's known in TNA.
Yes. Actually, I have it in front of me. The first elimination match appears to be Shinron, Tigre Uno, Rich Swann, and if I'm not mistaken, Sweet Chucky T, Chuck Taylor.
And I don't know, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Rich Swann and the things that he can do inside that ring. Rich Swann has been in the previous Rey de Voladores, but it was a while ago. It was before he'd gone on and got all this seasoning that he's gotten all over the world, and now we're seeing a new Rich Swann. So this is going to be an incredible tournament. Of course, Chuck Taylor is a former Rey de Voladores, which when he was the champ, he called it the King of Flippies.
And then you've got the second elimination match in the tournament. Right now, the Great Sonata is the only one named in that one that I can see.
That's what I've got.
Which is, to me, that's an amazing pull. Star in Japan, star on TNA, and now he's going to be in the Rey de Voladores, which, once again, I think that's an amazing pull, and it's just him alone in that match is going to mean something.
Absolutely, it's just sort of like it's like the play within the play. If you're familiar with Shakespeare, and, Hamlet, yeah, I love Rey de Voladores. And then, of course, like I said, when you go into night one, every night of King of Trios has something cool that's about it. Night one is cool because you get to see every single trio. Night 2 and 3 are awesome. Well, night 3 is, of course, great because night 3 is the finals, and you get to see who's crowned King of Trios. Night 2 is cool because that's where everything takes shape. Night 2 is when the eliminations happen, and then you start finding out some of these other bonus matches that you're going to get because of all this talent that we've got on hand that maybe isn't going to be going further in the tournament, so that we can have some incredible tag teams and singles matches to add on to the excitement. And then, of course, there's the fan conclave if you're there live to experience as well.
Yes, and of course, what I always enjoy about night 3 is once you sort of, like you said, once everything has kind of been boiled down from nights 1 and 2, the tag gauntlet. So in night 3, which to me is first of all, it's a great opportunity for any team to earn the 3 points needed to get the Campeonatos de Parejas.
You know what? God bless you for bringing that up. I almost forgot. That's another big King of Trios tradition, the tag gauntlet. And in the past, we've had 10 teams, 13 teams. I think one year we had 16 teams in this tag gauntlet. So you never know who's going to come out. One year out of nowhere, Demolition came out.
Anything can happen. I actually remember one of the first King of Trios that I have actually during the tag gauntlet. Someone who has over the years endeared himself into my heart. He actually came back to Chikara. Was the gentleman Jervis Cottonbelly?
Gentleman Jervis Cottonbelly, yeah. He's going to be he's of course going to be in his own trio during the tournament.
Of course, Team Extravaganza, if I'm not mistaken.
Extravaganza, definitely one of my favorites. Marion Fontaine and fabulous Thunder Kitty. You guys got a chance to check her out. She, I haven't seen a young female talent like this since Donna Cristianello.
Well, let me ask you something about a night 2 matchup. There's 2 non-tournament matchups other than the Rey de Voladores. One I'm interested in, one that I believe Bryce coined with the term the Battle of the Bow Ties. Juan Francisco de Coronado taking on TNA. It would be a disservice to say TNA Superstar because I had been hearing the name Rockstar Spud.
Yeah.
For a couple years before.
International Superstars.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say International Superstar Rockstar Spud taking on Juan Francisco de Coronado in the Battle of the Bow Ties. And once again, another great pull for Chikara. What's your opinion on it?
Well, I think that Juan Francisco de Coronado is the international superstar. I mean, let's not forget, this is a man who has sold out the Equidome on a number of occasions. I mean, usually they had to fly him in by helicopter. I mean, we're also talking about a guy who went 4-0 in Chikara, finally getting a championship title match with Icarus, and he went toe-to-toe with our champ and came within, an eyelash of winning the big one. Keep your eyes out for Juan Francisco de Coronado. He's a lot more than just a bow tie. And Rockstar Spud, I'm excited. I haven't seen a lot of Rockstar Spud. I'm excited to see him get it done in the ring here, and I'm excited to be the rock and roll ring announcer, and hopefully I'll give him a big rock and roll ring entrance and get him excited to do battle.
And lest we forget, if I'm not, as the last time I checked, if I'm not mistaken, Juan still the possessor of the potassium.
Yes, the top banana.
Oh yes, indeed. Which I'm hoping one day to see a title versus title, Juan Francisco de Coronado, the possessor of the potassium, and the Cracker Jack champion, the king of old-timey swing, Dasher Hatfield.
Yes, the Cracker Jack champion. That's sort of our Western States heritage title.
Oh, see, I love you for even saying that. Nobody ever remembers the Western States unless they're old like Eddie.
There you go.
No, not just the Western States. the heritage of the Western states.
Exactly.
Because that is a lot of heritage out there. Have you seen the size of California? Have you seen Nevada? That's a lot of heritage.
Yeah, Utah, Wyoming, those places are enormous.
You forgot Washington State and Oregon.
But the other non-tournament match, which, you know, a lot of people, even though he's still been around, you know, he still applied his trade down at NXT before being let go. A lot of people might not, you know, have forgotten about Yoshi Tatsu, and he's coming in taking on a newcomer in my eyes. I haven't seen much on him. Smooth sailing Ashley Remington, and either way,
Ashley Remington he has had a brief but impactful career in Chikara so far, and I mean, he's just killing it. He is every time he gets in the ring, we see something new out of Ashley Remington, and well, let's just say where Ashley goes, the ladies go.
Well, let me ask you this, Gavin. I have not been privy to see the DVDs yet or any of the things, but how lovely are the fruit baskets Ashley gives out to his opponents?
I mean, I've seen some pretty nice fruit baskets in my day. But the fruit baskets that Ashley Remington gives are, you know, they're the size of Tyrion Lannister. They're filled with apples, bananas, mangoes, pomegranates. A box of Cracker Jacks is in there, you know, and then deep nestled inside is one of those chocolate golden coins that has a handwritten note next to it. With all due respect, your friend Ashley Remington, keep on smooth sailing. He writes that by hand.
Well, I heard that they actually rival some of these swag bags that are given out at such events as the Oscars, the Emmys, the Slammies. So, you know, if
we're talking a hand, he doesn't, you know, he doesn't drop by the you know, your local department store and grab one off the rack. I mean, we're talking about somebody made this basket. Somebody who hand wove this basket and then filled it with, you know, fake grass and then loaded it with fruit and goodies and let me tell you something, it's not just the fruit basket, it's the fact that it's given to you by Ashley. When he gives you something, he's just one of those people that makes you feel special. You love to be around Ashley because Ashley loves to make you feel special.
You know what? I have not had much experience, but just hearing the way you and other people speak of Ashley Remington, it warms the cockles of my heart. I have warm cockles right now.
Can that get any more awkward? I don't know. We have warmed his cockles this evening. Do me a favor. How can people get it? Now, can you still get advance tickets for KOT?
Yeah, I do think that there are some tickets available that are going very, very fast. I'm not sure that the Conclave is. I don't think tickets. I think that the Conclave possibly could be sold out. But I mean, if you're down there in Easton, come down for King of Trios. You know, we're gonna try to make sure everybody has a good time. You know, because we did when we ran our initial comeback show in May, we sold out immediately, and we ended up having to open up and get a bigger room. So we do everything we can to accommodate the big fans that come out for our big shows, especially for King of Trios. So I would say get them now, and please let's all have this trio celebration together because it's been way too long, and I miss everybody.
And I'm going to say right now, if you have not seen the promo video done in the Lego style, go watch it. Gavin, I don't know if you know who put that one in the opening for Podcast to Go, where they look sort of like these Slam City guys. I don't know whoever put that one, and I love the song too. The big one is back for King of Trios.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the opening? The opening for Podcast to Go?
Yeah, that's the little Slam City looking guys.
Yeah, with the Slam City guys, right.
Dude, whoever did those videos for you guys, tell them that their work is much appreciated. I watch those over and over again and laugh because I just think it's hilarious. And then one day I would love to see some Chikara Lego people.
Well, yeah, the podcast opening is so cool. I think it really just shows you how awesome a Chikara video game or cartoon really would be. You know, it gives you kind of a glimpse of like, wow, that would be really awesome. And then the King of Trios Lego, the Legos themed is my favorite because, you know, Legos were always my favorite thing growing up. And with all my friends. I don't know anybody who doesn't love Legos. Legos are so cool. They're so iconic. They bring you back to adults and children both love Legos. The Lego movie was amazing. If you guys saw that, so I think that this Lego King of Trios theme is probably my favorite.
Mabo?
Oh, I'm not. Look, I know because we've held Gavin hostage, so to speak, long enough, and I could honestly sit there and cover everything that I have not been. I mean, I'm not saying. Look, I love Eddie, I love Wicked Nemesis, but they're not ensconced in Chikara like I am. And to have somebody that I can verbalize with over, you know, the end of season 13 all the way up till now, and everything that happened, we could talk for hours, but we don't want to hold you up any longer. You know. Yeah,
I mean, no, I'm fine. We can. If there's anything you would like to talk about, I'm here to do it. I owe you guys, you know, so I want to make sure I answer everything.
Well, actually, I tell you what, I want to throw this one on the table because after we get past KOT. You've got some great live events coming up in late October and mid-November. Would you be willing to come back on with us to discuss those upcoming events?
Sure, absolutely.
Twist your arm.
Because there's so much I would love to talk about that we haven't got to cover, like the Ashes, you know, the movie itself. Sadly, and I don't want to, you know, this makes me cry for a different reason, but the deaths of Cobalt and Thunder Frog.
Yeah.
And just the Lithuanian Proud Oak. My God.
Now the Lithuanian Proud Oak. Yeah.
Oh, and then the capture of Snow Troll.
We've got Chikara's got a real bad character now that's killing people.
Yes, I kind of mentioned him earlier. Like I said, I don't want to bring him up because he will come through the door, and I do not want to get choke slammed across his knee.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about a guy. We're talking about a guy who you know, we haven't even seen wrestle a match. We've only seen him deliver a move that once he delivers it, you're done.
Yeah. If you could ever
just think about that, to process that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got guys like, you know, Tursus and Tursus when he was around, and Knockin', these guys, the Devastation Corporation, these massive guys, when they drop to one knee, not in so much respect, but in fear of Deucalion. Oh crap, said his name. You know, if you ever wanted to get as close to a real life version of Bane from the Batman comic books, this would be it. But
yeah, whatever he's got control over over a dangerous army, and then when you see that the leader of the army is the most dangerous one of all. You know, that definitely looks like trouble.
Yes, but we will definitely continue that later on. We will hopefully be discussing King of Trios and all that other stuff. This is normally the part where I can't remember if Eddie has said anything, but Gavin, how can our listeners keep up with you and all your ongoings and doings and shenanigans and such?
I would love it if you could keep in touch with me via my Twitter at Loudnoxious, which is my alter ego in Kaiju Big Battle and in pretty much every other walk of life, as I am also a professional karaoke host, and I also do lots of other fun things, like I'm in a band and I do comedy. So I love to keep up with everybody on Twitter. Please hit me up at Loudnoxious.
And for everyone's to get their fill of Chikara and Kaiju Big Battle, how can they keep up with it?
You can definitely keep up with everything Kaiju Big Battle over on our Facebook page, and Facebook Kaiju Big Battle, and also we have a website, and the website is kaiju.com.
Dude,
and of course, all of your Chikara needs can be met on many various sites across the interwebs, such as ChikaraPro.com. I know that there's the Chikara 101 Pro message boards, and you got your Twitters and your Facebooks.
And we have we also have a Chikara YouTube channel.
Yes, that is right, the Chikara YouTube channel, which they can see your lovely face on.
Where you can check me out every Monday night on the podcast at GoGo.
There you go. Eddie?
Dude, it's always a pleasure to have you on board. And like I said, I'm glad everything worked out to where we could get you back on this week. It's absolutely...
Me too.
To use the words always appreciated are an understatement. Legitimate. No.
It's a lot of fun to talk with you guys.
Oh.
Thanks for having me, and let's do it again in a couple weeks.
You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest and great friend of the network, Loud and Noxious, Gavin Loudspeaker, the two, the one, the only, has just once again gone beyond ringside. Hang with us. We're going to a quick one, and we'll be back. Hey, Mabo, just for you, here's the Sin Bodhi sweeper.
This is the Warlord of Weird, Sin Bodhi, and when I'm not playing Go Fish with a two-headed midget or riding around crapping a whip at a donkey show, I will have you locked in beyond ringside. Sin Bodhi out.
Hey, this is Stan Grubb for Wrestle Rage Radio right here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for myself and Smart Rage as we discuss the professional wrestling business from WWE, TNA, and all things in between. We'll have an interview here or there. We'll see what we can do to just keep you entertained. And along the way, we're going to have to bring up some emotion and make you think. That's what we like to do. So join us here on Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you at Wrestle Rage.
Hello, everybody. This is Dirty Dutch Mantell, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Hey, guys. This is Christy Ritchie, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Lane, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
You have tuned in and are now live listening to the three-time NWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Scrapper Adam Pearce. And just like you, I am also locked in. And, brother, we are beyond ringside.
And the party continues. Let's do it. The home run round on this Sunday thing. Welcome back in Beyond Ringside Live on this 14th day of September. Special thank you, Gavin Loudspeaker from Chikara. Always great to have him on board. Also, Loud and Noxious from Kaiju Big Battle. Try to say that 3 times fast without me getting sued for some kind of really bad accent that I shouldn't really do while sober. So we'll leave it at that. Mabo, welcome back, dude. Oh, Mabo.
What?
There you are. Yeah, we lost Wick somewhere along the way. Of course, I'm going to go and let everybody know that. I'll do all that in the shameless plug section of the program. Now, have you had a chance to catch the ROH broadcast from last night with matches from Final D?
From what? What did you say?
I was trying to say Final Destination, and that was the wrong promotion, but that's the words that popped in my head.
Yeah, you said Final D, and I was like, Final what? You kind of threw me off there, little buddy. I don't even know what that means.
No, because my brain blanked out because I was trying to remember the name of the show that this particular these matches came from, and for some reason my brain started going Final Destination, and it's like, Eddie, I know that's not right.
Let's put it this way. I'm sure there's the word honor in this card at somewhere, so because it usually is. But no,
it was Death Before Dishonor is where it was from, and I apologize for screwing it up.
Well, anybody knows who lives in the South, you know how big college football is, and it decided to bleed over a little bit into something that's way more important to me than college football. That's pro wrestling. So I did catch. I guess it decided to pick up halfway through. We now continue with the scheduled programming.
Yeah.
So I came in during the O'Reilly AJ Styles match.
Dude, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, like from what I saw, I'm not a big Kyle O'Reilly fan. I don't know. Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, it just doesn't, uncork my champagne bottle. So, but I will say this, that sick ass running, not even a missile, I wouldn't even call that a missile drop kick. I would call that some kind of Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Hadouken kick to the chest that he did to Styles in the corner. And not just the ring corner, the corner of the guardrail.
Right.
From the ring apron. I was just like, you know what? I don't like you that much, kid. You're not my favorite flavor of ice cream, but that was impressive. And I was impressed. I saw that. I saw everything, up to that point. I don't know. I doubt there was a match before the AJ O'Reilly match.
No, we'll find out later because remember, ROH in our market re-airs.
Yeah. Yeah, we're lucky enough that, if, something as stupid as college football gets in the way, we can catch it later.
There you go.
Huh?
There you go.
Yeah. But I mean, love the Briscoe Young Bucks match. I could sit there and watch those guys go all day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was impressed with it. What was it? Scrap Daddy being brought out by the Decade.
Yep.
Taking on Tadarius Thomas. It was what it was. I mean, for what, once again, it's kind of like the O'Reilly thing. I like Scrap. I like what he stands for. I like him. Tadarius Thomas, once again, he's one of those that he's not a go-to guy for me. Just like
Right.
Scrap, I respect Scrap. I like what Scrap does. Scrap's been on the show numerous times. But, they're not my go-to guys, but if they're on and I happen to catch them and what they're doing, I like what they do. I like what they do. I wish the Decade, would get a little bit more airtime. And I know it's hard to do with just an hour show, but to me this could be something. It could be built up a little bit better and so much more. But unfortunately, when you only have an hour to work with, you got to buy the DVD.
And speaking of Briscoe, that last name, that there was a title change.
What?
Jay Briscoe became the second two-time ROH champion.
Spoiler alert, Eddie, some of us haven't heard about that.
No,
we're still seeing Michael Elgin.
Okay, I apologize for that, but it's been all over the place, and it's one of the results from...
Bro, I have not seen any of that.
Okay. I actually have... There have been some of the video clips that have been made public on... People have snuck it out on underground sites, I'll put it that way.
Oh, okay, because, I'm still seeing Elgin, as the champion. Because I think next week he's supposed to be taking on Mustache Guy.
Yeah, but we do have, and I'm going to go and break it, because technically it's not a spoiler because it did happen at a live event. It's kind of like happening at a house show, but it meant more. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. Eddie's telling the truth.
But Ring of Honor's 6th All-Star Extravaganza provided fans with a shock that no one saw coming. The Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto housed the iPay-per-view event from previous weekend. And something? We have a new ROH World Heavyweight Champion. Jay Briscoe defeated Michael Elgin via pinfall after hitting a J-Driller. He joins Austin Aries as the second two-time ROH World Champion in the company's history.
And any of you guys who've ever seen Michael Elgin know he's a big boy. And it takes a lot to get him up in a J-Driller, so.
Yeah, buddy. But like I said, I didn't mean to break that one as anything more than just breaking news over the last week. And it's just absolutely... There's been speculation as to why the title change occurred, and I'm just going to let that speculation stay where it is right now.
Well, then you need to speculate with me off the air, because...
We'll do that.
I haven't really seen anything lately, nor, especially over the weekend.
Right.
If there's anything said hanging out with my, three of my favorite homies over the weekend. So,
and we're going to get you the cooler scooter one of these days, and it's going to be me, you, and Tunzi in a 3-way race on the cruising scooter.
Are you talking about what James Storm used to drive?
That's the Boozer Cruiser, yeah.
All right, but mine will probably be full of Milo sweet tea or something.
Oh, my.
By the way, kids, stay away from Cheerwine. It is a soda. It is disgusting. It will make you literally burp up every foul thing you have that's been sitting in the pit of your stomach for years, and it will make your roommate almost crash the car on the way back from the comic book store.
Let's do this thing. Maybo, last call.
I think, Chuck, we don't have to say anything because we covered everything I wanted to say with Loudon, or Gavin, or Gav Loudon, or Glavin. I don't even know what to call the guy. He's my hero, that's what he is. And we were treated to a live performance.
Yeah.
Who gets a live performance? You know who? Nobody. You have to go to a Chikara event. We got it live on Beyond Ringside. What the crap?
Yeah.
I feel blessed.
I got 2 words for you. First word, pop. Second word, damn.
That was amazing.
Oh, I loved it.
I mean, yeah, then, earlier we covered NXT TakeOver. We covered that, because those are my two big things these days. I mean, TNA, God bless them. That's all I can say. Or somebody needs to, because something's wrong. I think I don't want to say it's too little too late. And not trying to say, so nobody read into this too much, but King of Trios happens the 19th, 20th, and the 21st, correct, Eddie?
Correct.
In Easton, Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken, at the Funplex. It goes by its real name, but I think they refer to it as the Funplex. Not too far down the road, excuse me, there's that sneeze that turned into a burp. Not too far down the road, I think from what the locals tell me, 8 to 10 miles down the road from King of Trios this weekend, TNA is having an event at a casino. I think it might be their TV tapings. So that's why we're seeing Rockstar Spud. That's why we're seeing
Sonata.
And I've heard rumors. These are all
Tigrayuno.
rumors. Please don't read into them, people. Don't address any letters. These are all rumors. I'm even saying they're rumors. But, and this is not coming from, trust me, this is not coming from just the Chikara front office. I have not been in contact with Director of Fund Mike Quackenbush, nor the new owner Robbie Ellis. This is just my own speculation. I've heard rumor that there might be even more TNA talent showing up. I mean, and Tigre Uno. I forgot about Tigre Uno.
No, I tried to mention it, but you were in sentence.
Oh, yeah, Sonata, Tigre Uno, Rockstar Spud. Who knows? I'm not saying it wouldn't be awesome.
I bet you a Cheeseburger Austin Aries would be one of the ones to show up.
No. I don't know if he would show up, but to see this match, I would pay for this. Eddie Kingston. We all know how hard hitting the War King is, Eddie Kingston.
Of course.
But to bring in someone who I would say is tougher than Eddie Kingston, and there's not too many men in the world that's tougher than Eddie Kingston.
You have my attention.
Samoa Joe.
That'd be hell. That'd be hellacious.
It would literally be. I guarantee you, each shot from them would rattle the fillings in your teeth.
Now, it'd rattle the foundation of the freaking building. It's, by the way, quick reminder, folks, the Palmer Center, 4100 Green Pond Road in Easton, Pennsylvania. Remember, night 1, I believe, starts at 7, doors open at 6. Night 2 starts at 7, doors open at 6. And the Fan Enclave, don't forget, Conclave. I know. I said it right one time, said it wrong one time. So I had to break the tie. Got it right the last time. Check it out.
Yes. And like I said, it's and I mentioned it previously, and this is not really a shameless plug. It's just something I've kind of picked up on. Chikara's intrepid reporter Babs has her own Chikara-centric podcast. It's called Chikara in 15 Minutes. And she really does. Unless it's something like a big deal, which I'm sure post King of Trios will be a big deal. She really does. She keeps it in under 15 minutes. and she gives you the news, and gives you plugs for where if Chikara members have been members of the rosters have been on previous podcasts. Hint, Eddie, sending in an email.
Mm-hmm.
She'll promote that, and other stuff. But she so vehemently says in her latest podcast, you cannot catch this on iPay-per-view. So for those of you who think, oh well, this is Chikara's big one, they're going to put it on iPay-per-view. Chikara's not putting King of Trios on iPay-per-view.
Nope.
So if you want to catch it live, you got to get your butt down to Easton, or actually up over side, wherever you're coming from. You got to get to Easton.
Yep. Shameless plugs, real quick.
Okay, fine. Shameless plugs. Oh crap! I don't know. Yeah, there. Shameless plugs.
Okay. Want to remind everybody, Wrestle Rage with Smart Rage and Stan kicks off in about 18 minutes from right now. They're going to be welcoming a special guest, Matt Sexcells. A little bit later this evening at 11 p.m. Eastern, the Midnight Black Mass with the good Reverend Dan Wilson as he welcomes back Scott Hudson for part 2 of that great interview. Dude, part 1 was fun. And the Rez rant, irreplaceable. You gotta love it, because 9 times out of 10, you would have sit back and said, no, that's 10 times out of 10, because he hasn't missed yet. Tuesday night, Back to Basics return, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. The To Be Determined show Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And Cause and Effect present the Thursday night Radio Throwdown. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And, of course, the Beyond Ringside Saturday Showcase, Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com, especially at Beyond Ringside on Twitter, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. You can catch the Beyondcast podcast through Podomatic, through iTunes, through Spreaker, and through Stitcher. And more ways than that. Check out the media page at BeyondRingside.com. For me personally, at Fast Eddie Lane over on Twitter and FastEddieLane.com, at Wicked Nemesis, one word, run it together, over on Twitter. And you can catch Wicked Nemesis through his Facebook fan page as well, the Wicked Nemesis Enoch Tessarian. Mabo, do you want to throw your Twitter out there, or is that?
No, I'm good.
Okie dokie. Got to take it home for now. Until next time, for the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
The God Support Your Local Independent Wrestling. Thank you all for listening. Tune into the To Be Determined show this Wednesday night. Have a good night.
For Mark Mabo Bowman.
Everything is awesome.
I had this feeling you were about to break into a long-form David Bowie. Until next time, thanks again. What's his name? The guy who calls in every once in a while, the pop singer from the 80s? I figured you were going to try to copy David Bowie, who often calls into the show.
Oh, no, that guy? Never heard of him.
Oh, okay.
Who do you ever beat, kid?
Bing Crosby at White Christmas. Thank you again, Gavin Loudspeaker. Always a pleasure. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for being so generous with the time. Folks, Fast Eddie Lane saying until next time, join us right here as we all go Beyond Ringside. Bye for now.